Donald Trump secretly meets with the Obamas for one final showdown. There are two sides to every story, but there's only one backstory. Donald Trump's SUV pulled up to a local donut shop in Washington, D.C. Service agents secretly chaperoned the former president into the back of a local donut shop. A hidden door sat on the east wall. Inside was a tunnel where an awaiting golf cart lingered. The cart discreetly drove the former president down the underground tunnel. A few minutes later, the former president walked up the empty pathway, agents guiding him into a secure room. The air was extremely thin. The room was quite lonely. President Trump was directly underneath the White House. He nervously paced in the secret room called the Hall of Resolution. His muscles tensed up, his jaw tightened in anticipation of his secret meeting. Within seconds, a sweet lavender fragrance flaunted into the room and danced at his nostrils. Michelle Obama strutted into the room. She was accompanied by Barack Obama. This was the first time the couple had locked eyes with Trump since 2017. Michelle had a no fucks to give attitude. She eagerly took the lead with disdain carved perfectly in her words. I had to check my pulse when I agreed to meet with you. That's no way to welcome your favorite president. His jaw widened with ease, a sinister smile fixed onto his face. Let's negotiate. Diet Coke? No, thank you. So where do we begin? Well, every 4 years, the pre-transfer of power happens in this very room, right here in the Hall of Resolution. The meeting of the minds, two campaigns, two parties, two candidates, negotiating the losing candidate's future. What exactly do you want? Trump perked up like a C student with the correct answer. You and I know that Kamala is on track to win the White House. Yes, and we can finally send you packing. Well, I want to win too. What is with you? You know how this works, Marianne. Why can't you put your pride aside and go be with your family? I can, but for a price. Trump's eyes burned with malice. I'll go away, but only if all of my court cases are eradicated by November 6th. That's the deal. And if they're not? Trump tugged his suit jacket over his protruding belly, sucking in air like a fish out of water. If my cases are not eradicated, there is going to be a major shift in this country to the likes that you've never seen before. The hostility in his words had lost its flair. Michelle looked him over for the first time in her life. She pitied him. Let the wicked man forsake his way and the sinful man his schemes, and let him return to God. You actually believe that? God is not a judge of man. Only man judges man. God could snap his fingers like that, and this could all go away. Why doesn't he do it, Michelle? Because he's giving you a chance to. Nope. You know why he doesn't do it? Because we create the world in which we live. You don't think God wants us living in a world of prosperity, peace, and love? That's what you liberals don't get. God wants whatever we want. 80 million people want me as their president. How can God oppose that? Obama reemerged from the shadows. Maybe he's right. You believe in this garbage? When you choose one path, you negate the other. Who says his path is wrong? Man is meant to rule by force. Ask yourself, Marianne, who would Batman be without Joker? The Yankees without the Red Sox? How about slavery? If slavery never happened, there wouldn't be a prestige of a first black president, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, or an HBCU to attend. You can't manipulate your way into history. The art of duality is what pushes man forward. Without a Republican, you can't stand in your belief as a Democrat. Conservative, liberal, good versus evil, white, black. Resistance always has a beginning, Michelle. And for every beginning, there is an end. Her words pleased him. And for every end, there is a new beginning, Marianne. Why do you keep calling me Marianne? I never called you Marianne. Isn't that your mother's name? My mother adored me with a love you've never seen before, I'm sure. You know, I've never hugged my father. And what does that make you feel? Trump gathered his thoughts. The truth finally rolled off his tongue. It's the loneliest place in the world. He told me before he died that he liked this suit I'm actually wearing. And I've worn it for 50 years. For a split second, Trump softened. He intently watched Brock and Michelle with fondness. I've always thought you two were very charming, smart people. But they say, hurt people hurt people. Where I don't hurt people, I destroy them. Heartbreak guided Michelle over to the former president. She embraced him in a tight hug. He immersed himself in the warmth of her care. His eyes grew shut. He was reduced to his 8-year-old self. Michelle pursed her lips, her brows curled, followed by a scorching whisper. No deal. You're going to prison. His eyes shut open, thrusting him back into the cold world he had abandoned for the moment. Trump watched as the Obamas gleefully exited the room, leaving himself in a fog of uncertainty. He sat quietly in a vacuum of stillness. His tense stare followed a tiny mouse in the corner. The petrified mouse searched for a way out, scurrying from wall to wall in panic, but it was trapped with nowhere to go. Trump took a deep breath. His eyes dimmed like fading embers until the room went black. Fuck!